Dr. Jacob, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself as the founder of Stoked.live and let us all know what gets you stoked.
Well, wow. Good morning, Brian, and thank you for that incredible introduction to the mission and values of Stoked.live. I mean, I'm honored to be here talking with you this morning, and happy to share a little bit. Uh, I am, as you said, Dr. Jacob Engelskirger. I'm the founder of Stoked.live. Um, it was a creation of mine. Um, a couple of years ago now, and something that's grown and become about an interdisciplinary team and an interdisciplinary approach to workplace wellness. And that includes leadership development, executive coaching, DEIA consulting, organizational culture change, other types of organizational consulting, and multidisciplinary workplace wellness presentations. So we offer a host of services that are all about wellness at work, and this concept really pulls from my experience as a practicing psychologist and mental health professional with 14 years of experience in the behavioral sciences and behavioral health field, supporting people with behavior change. um, in addition to that, I've been in an independent practice for several years recently, providing executive coaching, professional coaching, and leadership development services to leaders in tech, and other high performers in related fields here in the Bay Area. Um, I I'm a really big believer in what we're doing here at Stoked.live, Brian, and Stoked.live was initially a personal brand that was founded on my interests and belief in the power of leveraging bleeding edge behavioral science and organizational science research to deliver effective coaching and consulting interventions to help high performing teams in the tech world. I recognized an absence in services like this, and services that catered to the unique needs of folks who might not be enjoying work anymore, but maybe once did. You know, folks who have progressed in their careers, um, and are feeling lonelier as a result. Folks who are trying to make sense of and find meaning to their jobs, and find ways of having more balanced lives, and balancing their professional and personal interests. And to end my response to your initial questions here with what gets me stoked, that's something that I'm always stoked to talk about. I mean, I living here in the Bay Area, and I know you know some of this about me, Brian. I just love to surf. We have some great surfing. Throw on a thick wetsuit, and it's a good day in the ocean, whether surfing or stand up paddleboarding, swimming around a bit. I'm a big rock climber and have been for the past 20 years or so, and can often be found navigating challenging bouldering problems in the gym. They really stimulate my brain and body simultaneously. I love being involved in the community here and supporting my son's baseball and little league journey, and traveling and spending time with family and friends. I really, I'm someone who really tries to be stoked on life, and for me, a lot of that comes through being outside and being connected to nature and being physical, and also taking time to be present with myself, and with others.
Well, thank you, Dr. Jake, or Dick, Dr. Jacob, or as you and I say, Jake. It's
It's all
great to
good.
hear.
It's all good.
But and I love that, how you ended it, describing this. It almost feels like an alternative life, rock climbing and surfing and just being excited of being outdoors, combined with the intellectual background, the scientific background of being present in the moment in these operations that you've been transforming to train leaders and to train the executive teams to achieve their goals. And that's what really brought me to Stoked.live myself as a current member is I want to know how I can keep that fire alive inside of me and remember that excitement as a child of being stoked. I don't want to go to work and forget about all of that and just fall into the mundane and hate my boss and hate my coworkers and only do it for the money. I want to find a merger between the two. I want to be successful. I want to get paid well and I want to achieve the most, but I also want to keep that fire lit and be stoked. And so I'm really looking forward to conversations that we're having on how Stoked.live can keep that fire burning for all of us throughout an organization and help train organizations to keep that fire burning within their employees. I really look forward to it. Thank you for the time so far, Dr. Jacob, and I look forward to future episodes with you.
You're so welcome. It was a pleasure speaking with you, Brian. And it's so great to have you on the team now as our director of operations. You're really a gift. Thank you.
Oh, and thank you, everyone. And we just can't wait to start a regular time and interact with you to find out what gets you stoked. In the meantime, go to our website, stoked.live, and follow us on LinkedIn. Our stoked.live page is up and running. We want to hear your thoughts. See you soon.
Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, and then I'll just stop it and cut it right there. Is that okay? It seems like
That was
it's
that was really good. I thought, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, it felt more natural. I think it helps. When you watch news in that, when there's a conversation or an interview, there's the person giving the responses, that's just whatever that you want to be present and listen and respond.
Right.
But I'm realizing doing this is what helps is the guy asking the question has everything written out, and they're just reading a teleprompter. And it does it. It helps you stay focused and say what you want to say.
Yeah, it can be easy to be kind of swayed by or lose track of where you want it to go with the response. Totally, totally. I get that.
Yeah, and I got set, ad-libbing after that. I realized, oh, geez, I really want somebody typing in what I'm going to say because I'm just babbling. What am I doing?
No, this was real. I thought this was really good. I thought this was publishable. I mean,
Yeah, and
as
that's what I'd like
is.
to do. I'd like to cut out just that from the intro to, both of us saying goodbye. And I think that's about 5 minutes. And I think that's good enough time, to post. And so, man, what I'll do is I'll create the YouTube channel, cut it up, post it on YouTube, and then embed the YouTube video on our website as a
Mhm.
blog post, as well as embed the YouTube video into the LinkedIn as a post so that we can all share it as sort of an introduction to Dr. Jacob and Stoked.live.
I think that's perfect. I think that's it's going to be I mean, I can only I'm very hopeful, but I can only imagine like, the interest that that will draw given what we've gotten from much less involved marketing efforts so far.
Yeah, and I think I like this way of starting off with a few like 5 minute snippets on LinkedIn, and then eventually maybe that will come to some sort of actual live streaming where we have a subject matter and people join and they can ask questions. But I think that's a long, just like with the internships that we're talking about, this is kind of a long game here.
Yes.
So it's good though that we have little bits to help us along on the way right now.
No, absolutely. I think the podcast thing is totally a long game. I also think, depending on who sees these initial episodes, they could have a big impact on their own.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking with Lillian, as she's talking to people. This is what you really want, and when it comes to sales, is she's going to talk to somebody and say, "Hey, look at the post on LinkedIn that they did, where Jake talks about Stoked, and he talks about integrating, how he can help executive coaching, all this stuff." And then it becomes more of familiar ground for people. They're getting textual information from many different sources, and so it
Yes.
creates this familiarity and comfort level so that they can take that next step.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've read a lot of little articles and stuff lately about even like the the unharnessed power of video format as a way of introducing branding and building confidence and trust in someone you've never met yet. And so I'm totally sold on this, and I think we found like this
Yeah.
amazing platform, thankfully, and you figured out how to use it incredibly.
Yeah, well, it's great in that the Daria,
Yeah.
that she is, she's still young. Kids, they'd love to dive into this kind of stuff. And so she will learn how to say, oh, Brian, there should be a link here. You should do this here. And there should be, like, everything should have a poll attached to it on LinkedIn. And so we should, integrate all these things. And that's really what's going to drive a lot of this sales pipeline that we talk about in the future. And because, like, she also mentioned Instagram, it happens to be a good format for specific things like short
Yeah.
videos of stuff. And so she'll take on many different platforms. She'll be able to network and work through it. Yeah, that's exactly, what I'm talking about.
That's totally amazing. And I already staked claim to Stoked.live as a username on Instagram. I think there might be zero posts on the account or one sketchy one or something, but she's thinking, I like her thinking. And I also think for our purposes and in terms of accessing our intended audience, LinkedIn is a great platform. And we can simply be reposting some of this content there.
Yeah, and that's what she's going to be doing. And then, but when it's posted, what she'll do is she'll turn it into a campaign, so that this post is around other posts that describe some of the same things, that also are geared for getting people to talk to us about our services. And that's what we
Yes.
really want to use this for. But as we're talking, I'm just curious. A lot of this stuff, there's a lot of excitement in that. But I also have to go to the grocery store over on Park Street. And
Yeah.
how do you feel? I could ride my bicycle. We can stop by and maybe go to a coffee shop and have coffee and just walk around. I can, walk you to your home, or you can walk me to the grocery store and have coffee. Do you have time for that, or?
Um, yeah, that would be like right now or
Yeah, I'd take the tie and the shirt off, and then just have my bike's right outside. I just jump on it and I'm like 2 minutes away.
yeah, let's do it. Why don't we what do you think about doing like more of like a lunch thing instead of coffee? I'd be happy to treat you lunch.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. As long as there's a cup of coffee associated with it, maybe.
Deal. Oh, sounds good. Sounds
Okay,
good.
so um, what Encinal and what? No, you're on Encinal and Park.
I'm on it's the address is 2719 Encinal. I'm right. It's there's an iron gate at the street level, and it's next to that antique store and the hardware store at the intersection of Encinal and Versailles. So it's about 2 blocks down Encinal toward Park
Oh,
from
towards,
where we live.
yeah, I'll go
Um,
past Broadway.
yeah, and I can like I could either meet you, I can either walk over now and meet you at what I'd love to do actually if it sounds good to you is take you to that halal chicken place, then we'll grab a coffee after.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great. But so, did you want me to wait here? You can pick me up, or should I ride my bike to meet you somewhere?
Um
How do you get to that restaurant?
I would walk there.
Oh, good. Can
Um
I can I
is
just
that okay?
ride my I'll ride my bike to meet you at the office, and then we can walk there and then go from there.
That's perfect. And you're either there's a bike parking thing in front of the office door you can lock your bike to if you're comfortable with that, or you can bring it upstairs if you want. Just let me know.
Okay, yeah, that's great. I'll bring my lock.
Sweet. I'll meet you downstairs in a bit. This is fun. Thank you for that
Yeah, yeah,
invite.
let's get stoked. All right. I'll see you later, and I'll edit this later today.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Brian.
Okay. See you soon.